Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to Small Talk Queens. This is episode 5.
Yes.
Episode 5.
This is Kelly Walker, and this is my little sister, Megan.
Why are we giving last names?
Oh, well, I thought we were. Everybody.
You don't have people in Turkey sending you death threats. Why are you giving last names?
Okay, well, we don't know her last name.
Anyway, that's a different story for another day.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back. We have the names for the ornament giveaway. The yam sack. We're going to give these out at the end of the episode.
Yam sack.
So stay tuned in for the end of the episode. We're going to have that. No leaf blower today. Thank Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all week. It wasn't just the other day. I mean, it was the next morning at 7:30. I'm sitting out here having my coffee. It's like right out here. So I think the township has it in for us.
Because my township too, because it was leaf pickup, or it's going to be leaf pickup starting this coming Monday. So it was really noisy. Yesterday I have like a small forest behind my house.
It's a swale.
It's a swale, but it has a lot of trees in it to block our nasty back neighbor in the back. So they were blowing the leaves from 7:30 until 3:30, and it was nonstop with those gas blowers. It gave me a headache. I had to go in and put a pillow over my head. It got to me.
You need the noise canceling headphones.
It got to me, and every window was shut. It didn't matter, and we just got new windows.
It is illegal in some communities.
It is. I was reading about that,
and it fucking should be.
I was reading about that. It is illegal.
It's awful.
It starts in. There was a place I was reading about in Connecticut. It was just in the I think the Wall Street Journal, and New York. Some counties in New York, out on Long Island, about how there are noise ordinances, but beyond the noise ordinance, it talks about leaf blowers. And how they want you to go to, instead of a gas powered, they want you to go to an electric one or something because it makes less noise. Or you can't hum it for hours upon hours.
Well, around here it's like, and then it stops for a second. You think, oh, good, they're done.
Yeah.
And then no sooner does one yard get done,
the other one
then they have a smoke break, and then they go to the next yard. I mean, it's just and that's why. And so I had the noise. Joe got me during COVID the noise canceling headphones. But that was actually because of the kids playing basketball in all directions of the house. And I can't, the basketball noise is like just nails on a chalkboard for me. So between that and the incessant leaf blowers and all the things, so I just keep them in my spot, like my spot where I'm working. I just put them on.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I don't have to worry about it anymore. And it's just,
it made me almost go outside and yell and tell them to stop. But meanwhile, that's what I asked them to come and do.
Oh, they were doing your yard.
They were doing my yard. They were doing my yard.
I thought it was a fucking neighbor's.
No, my yard. And then this morning.
Why didn't you leave?
Where was I going to go?
You could have come
I had already done all my stuff. Plus, I should be able to enjoy my own house.
Well, yeah, but you hired them to come do the leave. What the hell did you expect?
It just...
my God.
It just was really bad. And then this morning, it starts with the neighbors behind us.
And that's my point. Not everyone does it all at once. It just goes from yard to yard to yard.
Yeah. I mean, it's where we live, I'm sure, but...
And I think that now the leaf season...
But it's the noise. Like, the snowblower doesn't get me like that.
No, the leaf blower is a horrible noise. It's worse than the lawnmower.
We should do the noise. We should, bring one in.
No. We don't have it. Ours isn't gas powered anyway.
No, Sean has one. My son has one. It's not gas powered.
That for him?
Oh, Mom and Dad. The grandparents bought that for my son. But it's not gas powered. It's battery.
It actually was gas powered. You say gas powered.
No, it's battery. Look at your tree.
Festive.
Yeah.
It's FAF. I'm feeling FAF with my nice...
What's FAF?
My nice wreath necklace a friend gave me for Christmas last year.
Is it glass?
Festive as fuck.
Oh,
FAF.
Okay.
And then Joe and I have an advent calendar each day. So I have the even numbers. He has the odd numbers. So each day there are these little stockings. There's cute little things. They're a bitch to hang, but I got them up. And so each day we get a little prize out of it, for Advent, like advent calendar, whatever.
We know what an advent calendar is.
We don't have kids, so we, amuse ourselves with advent calendars.
They enjoy life because they don't have kids.
We enjoy the life. So today I got my first holiday prize, my first advent prize, a new bead, a new Pandora bead for my holiday bracelet.
Oh, look at you! That'll just snag.
And that's why I'm wearing this shirt.
Oh, it's the VW bug with the tree on top.
I mean, you can't even. I can't. I'm gonna fall off the fucking chair trying to. Anyway,
we got it. We got
Google
the point.
I'm gonna fall off the chair. So I'm FAF. I'm calling it FAF because it sounds a little bit nicer than.
Look at yourself.
All right, my new red shirt, my wreath.
Look at yourself.
My Christmas beads. Oh wait.
Oh, the headbands. I want one that lights up.
They all lit. You can have the tree. This one. I'm gonna go with the red because it matches my shirt.
You can. These have. I
know,
noticed after the
I
last
was playing
time.
with them the other day. They look at this.
They
See,
blink.
You know, I'm going to start
I'm gonna
wearing
do
this all the time. I like the green one too.
I don't like the knot in the front. It makes you look like you're a genie.
Well, I like the knot in the
Nobody
front.
can see this.
It's like Chevy Chase when he's in the attic and he's the thing on his head.
You have to give me another one. This is too tall. No one can see this.
For God's sake. Well, these are just as tall. Okay. Well, then sit back. I mean, here's a ribbon. I don't know what to tell you. You want the green one? I can run in.
No, I don't like that.
Okay.
At least the beads.
A lot going on here.
At least the beads aren't falling off.
A lot going on. A lot. Now my shirt's up. I'm all discombobulated. Okay.
I don't want to. I like the strobe effect, but you might have like. I need to be sensitive to people that
they do 3 different things. They're just tall. I don't know what there's going to be. It's slouch.
I like it, and I'm going to wear. I wore the other one before.
You got to have a lot going on. I don't want the batteries run down.
It's like ADHD.
So okay. So the other day, a couple things. So the other day, after we got off the phone, of course. After we got off of this, of course. The next morning, I came out here to have my coffee. It's a screened-in porch, a windowed-in porch. It used to be.
I feel like a Dr. Seuss character.
Okay, you look like one. So it was free. It's 40 degrees in the porch when we come out the window before I put the heat on. So I went to the closet to retrieve something warm to put on, and another homemade gift.
This is a nice homemade gift.
Look at this. My friend made me this scarf.
It's beautiful.
It's 85 degrees on the porch right now, so I'm not going to put it on. But look at this. It's awesome. Hang on. Let me, without messing my hair. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, look. I like buttons. I like big buttons. I mean, I just love this.
Look at that.
So she made me this.
Beautiful.
And I sent her a picture. I took a screenshot with my sausage pajamas on and this. My Christmas sausage pajamas. I'm squished in like a sausage.
They're bad.
They're bad. They're
This
tight.
is the trouble, though, with Old Navy. Let me interrupt you.
It's Old Navy.
Old Navy does not have standard size. No consistency in the sizing. I love an Old Navy. I love the clothes, especially when my kids were little. Buy it, wear it till it like gets holes in it, and then there's no crying because it didn't cost $100 for those little pair of jeans that those kids are wearing.
Little pair of jeans.
And they have the great T-shirts with all.
Well, I mean, these
like,
pajamas
the
were so
guys
cheap.
on it.
These pajamas were like, I mean, they're like giving them away.
Well, I got them with because I'm into mail. I got them with little post office, like little mail, Christmas Santa mail.
I got 3 different.
They do not fit like a sausage, and they were $5. They were sold separately. The top.
You bought the same size I bought.
Yeah, they're $5.
But I bought my size.
Right.
My size, and I'm squeezed. This shirt is smaller than the goddamn pajamas that I bought, and this shirt fits me fine.
Right.
The pajamas, like a sausage link.
Right.
Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, so I sent my friend a picture with the scarf on, and to look, you know, another homemade gift, which I still have, and also she makes a killer peppermint biscotti.
Oh.
Which, Lish, I love it. If you're not making it this year, don't make it on my account. If you do make it, I'll take a piece. Anyway,
just one piece.
Just one piece. I'm trying to not like eat all the fucking things.
I know you've done fabulously well this year.
Thank you. I'm trying not to.
Whole year.
I mean, I do still drink my face off on occasion. I try not to. But
see, that's the problem.
I can't give up the booze.
I kind of gave it up.
You never drank the way I did.
I know, but indirectly, I gave up the drinking. Not on purpose. I mean, I still.
You have children you have to tend to.
I have children, and it just.
We don't have to. We have your child to tend to. I don't drink the night she's coming.
The youngest one is just you would not drink if you had my youngest child.
No.
He's great. No. I love him. Do not take this the wrong way. I'm going to have people calling like DHS. They're going to call at my house.
Calling your ass. Yep. Don't say it. Don't say it then. Don't say it.
Yeah. So he's a lot. He's very energetic. He's got the ADHD.
He's a little high maintenance.
Yeah. And can't take the medication for the ADHD because, of course, that's my child. He doesn't metabolize the right way. But I have her child.
He's up early in the morning.
Have her child.
He's festive as fuck during the holiday season.
He is festive. God has a sense of humor because he gave me Megan's child. He said, boom, and onto you, you're going to have Megan's child.
Unto you a child is born, and you will name him Sean.
Yeah.
And he will be Megan's child, but you will have him.
Yeah.
So you can't drink. I mean, a lot of my friends with
I can drink, but I just choose not to. Like the headache and
yeah. Trust me,
wine gives me a headache instantly. Like I don't know what's in it anymore.
Well, you might be allergic to it.
And besides, I had my fill in college. If anybody knew me, I had a lot in college.
Well, some days, like the other night, I got the bad back. It's a whole other story. And so I was in so much pain, and it was like down in my hip, and it hurt so bad. And my choices were medical marijuana or have a drink. And I thought, you know what? I'll just have a drink. But then one beer, and they're really tasty seasonal beers, leads to 2 beers. But then Joe went to bed, and then the beers were already up here. So then I had his too, and I watched a holiday film on TV. And then I went to bed. But the pain was gone. So look, it's better than opioids or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
So, okay. There was something else. Speaking of your child. Oh, my God. So, remember when we told him about Krampus?
Oh yeah, Krampus. So this is what I have to deal with. They get him wound up with the Krampus.
It's great.
The evil, scary-looking Krampus, and then I've got to deal with the ramifications.
It's a fine line between, and parents, you know this, between bartering with them and threatening with them. And around the holidays, it's very, what's the word? It works well. It works well around the holidays.
Well, he obviously doesn't believe in Santa anymore. I mean, he's 17. No, he doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so Krampus. So several years ago, he was like acting a fool, and we had recently we'd heard of Krampus, but then we were watching some show on ABC, Grimm. We're watching Grimm, and they had Krampus on there, and so I looked into Grimm a little bit more, and so I started telling him that Krampus was going to come and get him, and then we showed him a picture of Krampus, and we told him who Krampus was. And if you're not familiar with Krampus, Google it. He's scary. So then, and then we bought. So my mother collects those terrifying Bayer caroler doll things with the mouths.
They sell them on QVC now, but they used to not.
Yeah. So we got
the mouths are like how?
Like they're caroling. Anyway, like they're screaming is what it looks like. So there's a Krampus one. I spent $85 on that fucker just to give it to Mom for her group so that I could taunt your child with it. It gives me, to this day, it gives me pleasure.
You stick his picture,
and Mom hides it. Mom hides it so I don't do it. We get to Mom and Dad's. I find Krampus dressed in black, terrifying. I wish I had a picture. Find him, take him out. I go to the refrigerator. I take the fucking picture of Sean off the refrigerator, and I stick it in the little backpack that Krampus is wearing.
Yeah.
And I made up a song. I can't sing. Bear with me. I made up a little ditty. I'm gonna fucking sing it.
Don't sing it.
You stop. I made up a little ditty to sing to him to remind him that Krampus was also watching. So Santa would reward him if he was well behaved, and if he was being an asshole, then Krampus was gonna come. And it was to the tune of a Christmas song. It was he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He'll stuff you in his bag and drop you in the lake.
We are gonna have DHS at my house. We're gonna, and no wonder my child has anxiety.
I got a stocking and we hung it. It has Krampus on it. I don't know what I did with it.
Here, let me show you. This is a picture of Krampus. Now, this is an illustration, but there's Krampus. I mean, he's devil-like. That's the whole purpose. But meanwhile, I think he started over in like Holland or one of those. In Germany, of course. Oh yeah, it just says the German Krampus.
I got more about that.
The German Krampus.
I think Germany. It's a bunch of those countries over. Okay, hang on.
The Germanic countries.
Yes. So, we got this stocking and we hung it for Sean.
I mean,
we got a bad glare from behind us, right? He is terrifying, like a demon kind of thing, but hours of amusement we have gotten.
And he does laugh, like it doesn't scare him.
He laughs. Well, when he was a little bit younger, he was
mad.
It's not true. No, but now, I mean, he kind of laughs, but we still hang the Krampus stocking. And speaking of Krampus, so I just bought a book. Because, I'm on the Facebook or whatever, I'm on Amazon. It's like things you might enjoy because the phone hears you and then it shows you shit that you might like.
My phone does not hear me.
Well, I don't know what's happening. Mine's infiltrated by Temu or whatever. So I got this book suggestion on Amazon, Christmas Folklore. I think I've written it down somewhere.
Oh, but there's a Krampus movie people say.
Scary Book of Christmas Lore. So I'm looking at it on Amazon, and the first chapter is all about, like, it's Krampus and all the other people, and I can't remember the names, and they're all, like, German or Slovak or something. I can't pronounce them. I'm going to have to look up how to pronounce them. The first chapter is called St. Nicholas and the Butchered Children. So that's why I fucking ordered it. I read through the different chapters, and it came the other day, and I am so excited to sit down and read this book.
I mean, that's horrifying.
I know, but it's also amusing. Santa Claus, I mean, Saint Nick obviously was supposed to be a good...
my old neighbor and good friend is from Holland.
Yes.
The Netherlands, I know, but she still refers to it as Holland. So Dutch. And they have Saint Nick Day on like December 5th or 6th when we used to live next door to them. You put a shoe...
Yes.
Doesn't need to be wooden.
This was on the Heidelberg Christmas one. I watched on Hallmark last week.
Oh, don't even. Yeah. So you put a shoe outside and St. Nick.
So St. Nicholas Day is different than Christmas. So it's two different things. I like that. You get Christmas prizes on 2 different days. Kind of like Hanukkah. You get like all the different...
Okay.
I like to spread it out.
We have to go back to Krampus, folks. Oh. Krampus, a Central European popular legend, a half-goat, half-demon monster that punishes misbehaving children at Christmas time. He is the devilish companion of St. Nicholas. Krampus is believed to have originated in Germany, and his name derives from the German word.
Those Germans don't fuck around.
No,
I mean, they do not.
And
fuck
we have
around.
friends from Germany.
Yes, I do.
Remember the Halloween party where you lit? I go in and we have friends from Germany, and Megan. I mean, they're from Germany. They're here working. Megan has lifted up her Halloween costume to show off her tattoo that went badly awry, which we already talked about. But that was like her introduction to my German friends. At any rate, the name is derived
Was that
from
the same one I came home and threw up in the yard and it froze and Dad came over the next day and
that was the year. That was the year we had
shoveled it out of
snow.
the yard for me because
Snow at Halloween.
That was rough.
His name derives from the German word Krampen, which means claw. So that's enough on the Krampus. There's a modern day movie out. It came out a couple years ago.
Well, the movie looked terrifying.
Well, I think they made it more terrifying.
I'm absolutely going to watch it, but I cannot wait to read this folklore book. But first, I'm reading.
It looks like I have horns.
It does look like you have horns. So several years ago, I bought A Christmas Carol, the novella. It's not a book, but it's a novella. Whatever. It's a fucking book. So it's only 66 pages. It's going to take me until next Christmas to get through this goddamn thing.
It's horrible.
And I know the story. I can't read this old English shit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm like keeping a list of where to stop and like Google shit and like look up words. A lumber room. So I'm reading along. Okay, he's in his chambers. I get it. The fucking ghost is coming. Lumber room. So of course I'm picturing like a room with wood. Like, is this where they keep the spare wood for the fire? A lumber room is what I call my spare bedroom, where I house all the shit that I'm not using right now. So back in whatever those 1800s.
Charles Dickens days,
1840s, when the hell it was. So a lumber room was the room in the house where they stored all of their stately furniture, because they would rearrange and move it about. Instead of getting rid of it, they would just store it in a room, and that room was the lumber room. And now I know. And in our house, we call that the guest room, which houses the clean laundry that I just dump onto the guest bed. It houses bins for the holidays.
I think everybody's guest room is that. The guest room's a catch-all.
We can't.
It's like the staging room.
We can't have a last minute like a pop in for the overnight. Like I need to know. I need to know if there's going to be an overnight, like several days in advance. I mean, the sheets are always clean, the bed is always made, but God damn it, if that room is not a mess, it has to be cleaned up.
The pop-ins.
The pop-ins.
Who does a pop-in? You should be arrested for doing a pop-in.
People do pop-ins still.
I'm like Sebastian Maniscalco. Like, I'm like doing the army crawl to see who
Sebastian Maniscalco, whatever his name is.
I can't
He's
say
a comedian, which you introduced me to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have not, I didn't fucking know who he was till you told me.
He's going back out on tour. He just announced it starts June 11th.
He is hilarious, and he does a bit, and it is worth
Maybe not
Googling.
June 11th.
He's going to be in Vegas, because Joe thought it was AC. He might be in. It doesn't matter. So he does a thing about the pop-in. Because remember, I mean, I don't know, like people.
We're the same age. So back in like the 70s,
80s.
In early 80s, people just stop over your house.
You can just shoot a text, hey, I'm in the neighborhood, can I stop by? I mean, people just stop by. And plus, so our family, we have a big family. So my dad's brothers and sisters lived nearby, and other relatives. And when I was really little, like our grandparents were living next door. And so people just stop the hell in all the time. I mean,
just pop in.
So
you can be in the middle of getting dressed, and they're like
Sebastian Maniscalco, whatever his name is. He does a hilarious bit about the pop in, and everyone dropping to the floor and army crawling. Don't move! Don't go to the window! And having like the Entenmann's, because there's always something kept in the house for the people who popped in. You were not allowed to eat it. You were not allowed to drink it.
Mom always had that, but not the Entenmann's. It was something else.
Not the Entenmann's, but keep that for whatever. So, and meanwhile, so we had. It wasn't necessarily a pop in. We had a pop in last weekend. We didn't have it. We were the pop in. We were invited for the pop in.
Oh, well, look who's.
But it was what's more of a last minute, just unplanned event, which is not something we do. So Joe and I last Saturday night, we had to leave to go get the lottery ticket, because we're playing the fucking lotto right now. Like it's my job. So we go to get the lottery ticket, which obviously we haven't won, and so we're out. So we're looking around at lights. We're driving around looking at lights. Now the background here. We both have on sweatpants. I mean, Joe's like, can I go in the store with sweatpants? Absolutely. Yeah. Sweatpants. I mean, mismatched. Like my shirt was down to my knees. I had cropped. I looked ridiculous.
Well, did he look
and
homeless?
I had two side buns in.
She's doing the Miley Cyrus look.
She had
the two
Princess.
buns.
I don't know. I had two side buns.
No, Princess Leia's over here.
Okay. I mean, it was to the point. Joe came home that day and looked at me. He's like, "Oh, that's interesting hair, wife." Anyway, so we're driving around, right? And we go past a friend's house, and I texted my friend to say, "Oh my God, your house looks beautiful. Good job." So she writes back, "We're going to be home in 5 minutes. Come on by." She's like, "But the house is a mess if you don't mind." I'm like, "Look, we're a mess if you don't mind." Thank God
you showered?
I had makeup, yes. I actually, my face
the brows were on?
The brows were on, yes. But still, I mean, it's still, I like a food stain down my shirt. So I'm like, your house is a mess. We're a mess. I'm like, we have sweatpants. I have a food stain. I'm like, oh, by the way, if we smell like fish, it's because I made salmon for dinner.
Oh my God.
I wanted to give a head up. I think we just fucking stunk. So,
that's one of the reasons why I don't cook fish in my house. The smell.
I had not intended to be seeing anybody or being around anybody. I had a
No, but you were going to go into like Wawa and get your ticket and
wasn't
smell up
going
the
anywhere.
Wawa.
Joe was.
Oh.
I don't know if we smelled like fish. I was just, in case we smelled like fish. I wanted
That's so rude. We could go a million ways with that, but I won't. I won't.
But here, wait. I have one that's acceptable enough. Speaking
if they're children,
speaking of smelling like fish. Oh yes, disclaimer before get your kids out of the room. We're not for kids. We're not for your kids.
No.
So I'm in high school. I'm in a math class, right? I'm in this math class, and I'm sitting in the back.
Wait, was that Mrs. Kilareski?
No, this
was.
Am I allowed to say people's name? I was Ms. By the Way. Her name was Ms. By the Way.
Who has a? I would have changed it.
She was very nice. She loved
me. By the way, Miss. By the way, Miss. By the way,
Ms. By the Way, Mrs. By. Anyway, so I'm in the back of the room, minding my business, talking to my friend Rob, with like table mates or whatever, and
table mates.
So I don't know, this girl, and I remember who all was involved, but I of course, we're trying to say names, and I don't ever want to embarrass anybody. So if you were in the class, so
she's
you
not
remember
watching.
It, she could be, you don't know. One of our 32 subscribers, thank you, the 32 of you that watch.
Get more people.
So this girl is sitting up front, and Mrs. By the Way is like this very nice, she's very quiet, she's a math teacher, for Christ's sake. You get the picture. So this girl is sitting up front, and she's like, what smells like fish in here? And this guy also will remain.
No, she did not.
Unnamed. This guy was like, I don't know, but maybe you should close your legs. I died. I mean, I laughed. I couldn't breathe. We were all. And like the harder I laughed, the harder I tried to not laugh, the harder I laughed.
Harder.
And then I've been told that I'm one of those people that often has a contagious laugh. So I'm laughing.
Imagine.
And other people are laughing. And Mrs. By the Way, I mean, her face was the color of my shirt. She was just. And she could not. And there was no getting control back after that. There was absolutely no getting control back after that. And at 46 years old, I still remember that from my whatever.
Still makes you funny.
Junior year of high school.
Still makes you laugh.
It still makes me laugh. Speaking of smelling like fish.
And here's another thing, as we segue, this is how our minds work.
Squirrel.
So yeah, but it's not a squirrel. It all goes together. Are you listening to
I'm
me?
listening.
Oh, you got a festive squirrel.
I had him. I unpacked him today for my Christmas decorations.
Look, we're gonna leave the festive squirrel right there.
Leave him out. Look how festive. I forgot about him. He was in the last bin that look, he has the tufted ears and everything.
Oh, the tufted
what were you
ears.
Say?
Oh, so speaking of things that happen in high school that are said, obviously I'm the firstborn. If you can't tell, she's the baby. Very different stories growing up, as you can see.
Well, the firstborn, I had a whole class on this. The firstborn's always well behaved. The last one, a little bit more rebellious.
It wasn't until I got into college that's a different story. But speaking of classrooms and things that are said, and I love Mrs. Gentry, and I'm going to put her name out there because she is the best damn English teacher.
She was good.
Anywhere in the United States, she's the best English teacher. And she still lives in State College. She was amazing. My 10th grade honors English class. Did you have her?
I had her.
Okay.
But part of the year we had a student teacher.
Oh, she took over for that.
She had to take over. Oh, we were reading fucking Heart of Darkness. I still don't know what it's about.
I love the Heart of Darkness.
Do not know what the fuck that book is.
Mrs. Gentry,
Conrad.
Yeah. She's the whole reason I went into English.
I still do not know what the fuck that book is about. I have no idea.
Mrs. Gentry is the whole reason why I wanted to be a teacher. But anyhow, digress from the story, which is, so we're reading, it's like middle of the year, and I don't even know what we're reading, but we're studying decades, okay? Like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Okay, well, I was just giving an example. We didn't go back to the 1800s. So we're studying them. And I don't know what I had, but like you had to do a project. And my project was like I tea stained and then burnt the edges of a piece of paper and wrote a letter like I was in the 1920s. Like you had to use the vocabulary and talk about current events that were going on in that day, like those type of things. And it had to be particular to your...
You got to move this along.
Okay. You had to be particular to your decade. So then, we have in-class readings and things that we do in class as a whole. And there were, 25 kids in the class. And I'm sitting in the front. And Mrs. Gentry, I was a little bit of a brown noser. I mean, I do admit I loved her. So sitting in the front and we're reading. And we're reading some laws that were on the books in the 19
I know what this is.
10s or 20s. And one was, there will be no fornicating with animals. punishable by, and I can't even remember
Law.
what.
Death.
Yeah, but there was some sort of particular punishment. And I swear to God, did not know what fornication meant. But I was like, what would you be doing with an ant? Like I'm thinking, like, it's not horseshoeing. Like, what are you doing?
Dude, the fucking professor at Penn State.
Wait, no, oh, no, not there yet. I'm not
that
done.
was fake news.
So
had to
I
Google
raised my
that.
hand, and usually I'm, well-mannered. Raised my hand. Mrs. Gentry was like, yes. And I said, what does fornication mean? She picked up a pencil or something and chucked it at me. She was mad. And I've never seen her mad, and she was never mad at me before. I was like, what? I don't know.
She didn't really have to explain it.
Oh, I know what it was. She threw at me. She chucked the red, those big, thick red dictionaries that were like
Would you look it
ancient.
up?
Yeah, she's like, look it up. So the class goes on. She's miffed at me, and I'm looking up fornication, and I'm reading it silently. And I go, in the midst of the conversation still going on with the class, I go, oh my God, that's disgusting. Why would somebody want to do that with animals? No wonder there's a law for it. There should be a law. There should still be a law.
There still is a law. It's still illegal.
So after class, I did tell her
illegal.
that I was not being a smartass. I really didn't know what it meant. I was very sheltered, very naive, very strict parents. So not that has anything to do with it.
Why the fuck? I mean, why would you? Why? Well, no one walks around using the word fornication.
I know, but
except for Sheldon
just in general
on Big Bang Theory.
Just in general.
Well,
but thank you, Mrs. Gentry.
I had Mrs. McWilliams.
I had Polly too. Oh, Polly.
AP. Well, I had a similar experience with Polly.
Senior English.
And so, being the loud girl in the class and the jokester, when a similar situation came up, I was scolded. Ours, though, and I have no idea what book we were reading. I don't remember. But the word sodomy came up. Ms. McWilliams? Yes, Megan.
Again, we're sheltered.
Right? Again, no one uses the word sodomy.
I know, but it wasn't we were watching movies or anything.
God, what the fuck were we learning about in English? Anyway.
It was a story.
So, was sodomy in it in high school English? Anyway, the word sodomy came up, and I didn't know what it was. So I raised my hand and asked, and her face turned the color. English teacher.
She's very angelic.
She was very quiet, very angelic. Color of my shirt, and she was mad.
Oh.
Megan, that's not funny. And I got yelled at. And then, so, if I can say name, Kirk. Thank you, Kirk. Kirk leans over into my ear, and he's like, in the ass. I'm like, why don't you just say it? I know what that means.
Oh, my God.
So then I knew what it meant.
Did Mrs. McWilliams tell you to leave?
No. I mean, I legitimately had no idea what the hell the word meant. Again, why would I know these words?
Well,
so the big words I learned, that was not one that was mentioned on Oprah after school that I went to the dictionary.
It also wasn't in that college vocabulary book that we had.
No, it was not. I used to, the vocabulary tests. I would purposely miss them.
No, don't.
And you can tell by the way I talk and the lack of my good vocabulary. I would sit out in the hall to retake the test, and I didn't have any supervision, and so I would probably get some of the words. I look them up a little bit. I know. Look.
I substitute taught your Spanish class.
Senora Robinson. She had the rosacea like I have. She was
my God.
Lovely woman.
Well,
she was so nice.
I substitute taught. That's my home school, so I was substitute teaching in my alma mater.
She could get her voice so high pitched.
Who?
Oh my God. Senora Robinson.
Oh,
no,
Senora.
Not you too. But
I did not
Senora
take
Robinson.
Spanish. So anyhow, I'm in,
it.
and the teachers actually relied on me to move the class forward for them. Like, not just go in and have romper room, because this is high school. Like, they gave a lesson plan. Some of them even called me the night before if it was a scheduled absence to tell me what they wanted the class to do, and I moved them along. So they were having a quiz in Mrs. Senora Robinson's Spanish class. Of course, I don't know Spanish, but I'm in there. I'm just to give the quiz. So in walks Megan, who doesn't know I'm substituting that day, but I'm substituting her class, and her best friend. And there's a quiz. And now I know from living at home.
Well, Rosanna knew her Spanish.
You don't tell her name.
Rosanna knew her Spanish. Rosanna wasn't doing anything wrong. I was looking at her paper. I don't fucking know.
At any rate, I know from living at home that she told me that Rosanna sometimes aided Megan.
She didn't stop me. She didn't offer it, but she didn't stop me because she was a good friend. Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you for that.
Sometimes.
Because you know what? I was good in Spanish with the nouns and the shit, and we had to conjugate the verbs, and then I don't know what the fuck happened. I have no idea.
So, I know from home,
I can't do it.
The stories at home, that Megan sometimes relied on Rosanna for quizzes and testing. So I, knowing this, told Megan that she wasn't allowed to sit near Rosanna. But I did it not to pinpoint her, but she knew what I was doing. No, I said, Megan, you're not going to sit there. You need to sit over here. And she didn't like that. And they took the quiz. Out. No, you took the quiz. You didn't do so well.
I'm sure I didn't do well. Conjugating verbs, not my thing.
And then when we got home, you're like, I can't believe you moved my seat.
Oh, I don't know why you had to be an asshole.
Yeah, and then Mom and Dad were like,
a good sister would have let me just fucking cheat.
No, it was a job. I was getting paid for it.
Oh, aren't you a goody two shoe?
Just doing my job. Oh, look, he's little leather shoes.
Right,
on.
little. Oh my God, he does have little leather shoes. Look, squirrel. I was gonna wear my squirrel necklace. I'll wear it next week or sometime to show it. But I wanted to wear my festive wreath that my friend gave me because you can only wear it so many months out of the year, 1 month out of the year. So I wanted to put that on.
I'm not as festive. Let's not get it wrong. I do enjoy a holiday.
You are not FAF.
I do enjoy a holiday. It just takes a lot out of me. There's like a lot going on.
You watched the Rockefeller thing with me the other night. That was about as festive as you get.
Oh, that was not. What is going on?
What the fuck?
That is not good. And you know what else sucked this year? The Macy's Day Parade. My friend used to live here. She called me from California on Thanksgiving. Actually, she texted me and said, I'm watching the Philadelphia parade because the Macy's Day Parade sucks.
Yes. I was texting my friend and he was like, what is happening? He was, I can't take all this Broadway shit. I like the Broadway shit, but I was done. I walked in and the goddamn song about the corn cobs and they're dancing around the corn cobs and I was like, I'm done. I'm checked out. I can't. I just wanted to see Cher and then I recorded it and I'm not going to go back and watch it.
I used to pretend I was Cher when I was little.
You had a Cher Barbie doll.
I did. I had a Cher.
Cher looks the fucking same.
I had a Cher head doll. Like they were big and you could do the hair and the makeup.
Yeah. I thought you had a Farrah Fawcett.
I had a Farrah Fawcett one too.
We weren't allowed to play with Cher. Let's play with Farrah Fawcett. We got anyway.
And Frida gave me Farrah Fawcett.
So we're watching. I'm over at her house. Joe was at a sporting event. He was somewhere sporting event, and so I went over to take her child out to look at some Christmas lights and to visit for a little while. So I damn near wrecked the car trying to get pictures of the Beaver Moon. Full.
Now who's a juvenile now?
My friend, wait.
Juvenile.
So I posted about the moon.
Who's the juvenile?
The moon was amazing, and we're in this ritzy fucking neighborhood, and I'm stopped in front of someone's house. We both had the windows down.
Not my
with
neighborhood.
Our phones, trying to get pictures of the moon. It was like coming through the clouds. It was so cool. Sean got the good ones. I couldn't get them.
He's got a good eye.
And then the fucking spotlight came on. I was from the house I was like, oh, time to go. So I mean, there I am in my Camry with the tinted windows and shit. I mean, it's like, you know, my car is old, but it's paid off, so I still drive it. The 6 miles a week that I drive it. So anyway, so I'm like, we got to go. So then, and I didn't know it was the Beaver Moon. I looked up to see which moon it was before I posted it on Facebook, and then a friend of mine messaged me and said, I had to click on your post, and I was really surprised that you were just talking about the moon. It's like, I was confused. I was like, what was the full Beaver Moon? Like, why? I'm like, oh. I'm like, you weren't expecting me to be talking about the moon. He's like, no, I thought you were talking about something else.
Well, I mean, with that in mind,
Rockefeller, yeah.
With that in mind, Penn State has a lot of things named Beaver, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's somebody's last name. Is it somebody's name?
I lived in Beaver Hall.
I don't know.
One of the presidents of the university
were up there once.
Beaver
there was a group of us with our kids up there. It was for Arts Fest, and we're just like walking around. And the one husband went to school with John and I, and the wife did not. No Penn State blood in her. So we're there, and she goes, "Why is everything named Beaver for a college campus?" She's like, "I just don't think that goes well. There's Beaver Hall, there's Beaver Stadium, there's Beaver Avenue, there's all these Beavers." She's like,
the president of the university.
Why? Why is it a Beaver? Why does it have to be a Beaver? She's like, "I just see this going in a really wrong direction."
I find it most
with the Beaver.
Well, I'm gonna get back to the lighting at the Rockefeller Center thing. But
that was bad.
But when I was still teaching, we're talking about a group of grown ass teachers. I was the youngest. We had this little nonfiction book about like raccoons, mice, whatever. Beaver. That little book about beavers, it would rotate people's mailboxes. I'd come in the morning and take my mail in my mailbox, and there's this book on beavers, and I would start the day with a nice little chuckle, and I'd give
was it actual beavers?
Yeah, it's a fucking beaver. Like the beavers, the animal.
Do that again.
I'm not going to do it again. So it was. I mean, women that were close to retirement age passed at this time. It was amusing for everybody of all age. So we just passed it around. It made someone's day. We'd laugh. The kids never got to read the book because it was always in somebody's mailbox.
Wait, you have to tell the Ho story. Ho. When you were reading the Ho books, the book about the Ho. Had hoes in it.
Oh, the garden hoe.
Megan taught in the Philadelphia School District is an urban district. It's like the 5th largest in the country.
And so
it was a good story.
And so you don't, like, there's terms that don't, as a child, I wouldn't have known the word hoe, for example. But we didn't have a lot of slang. But this is everywhere. I know. But hoe is on a word that we had as children.
No, because we didn't have a lot of slang when we were kids. That type of slang.
Well, right, hoe didn't really exist when we were, anyway. So I'm reading a book about a garden hoe, and then the kindergarten age kids, like busting in the, Miss Spicer's at home. Miss Spicer's at home. I'm like, what? I'm like, So then, thank God for having phones. You could look shit up on. Actually, I didn't have the phone. I couldn't do that on my Burberry, Bayberry. What the fuck was that phone? Blackberry. Christ. No, I went to the computer. It was a great teachable moment.
Oh my.
I stopped what I was doing. I went to the computer and very carefully typed in garden hoe to make sure I wasn't going to get flagged and fired all in one day. Garden hoe up came. So then we talked about it, and then the kids learned a new thing.
So they knew it wasn't
what
just
was the other one?
A person.
It was at Christmas time. We were doing a Christmas special at school, or a holiday winter special at school, and we were doing the 12 Days of Christmas, because I can still do the motions to that song.
Please don't.
I'm not, but one of my favorites. So, what was? Oh, the Piper's piping.
Oh yeah, the Piper's.
Right. I didn't know what the fuck a piper was. So my kids lose their minds. 25 kids like what? Am I supposed to say Piper? What? So I have no idea what the fuck is happening. I have no idea. So then I have to go to somebody else. Like after school, I have to go ask the teacher.
Did you go ask a kid? You didn't ask a kid.
I didn't ask the kid. No, I asked a parent that I was friendly with, or another teacher or somebody. I don't know what a piper is. Now I know what a piper is. And if you don't know what a piper is, it's
slang.
It's slang for somebody who smokes the crack pipe. So now I know. I mean, who knew?
Miss Spicer's saying piper.
So then, right? But then I want the kids going home Miss Spicer about pipers for Christmas. I mean, I can't. So then I explained to the kids the next day that they're playing like a pipe, like a whatever
bagpipe kind of thing,
flute, or like some kind of fucking instrument. I don't know what it was. An instrument that you blow into, piper's pipe. I was like, oh my god, what else? So I had to stop and think about shit. I mean, you never know. Well, there's something up with the fucking Muffin Man too. My first year teaching kindergarten, and I still don't know. I still don't fucking know what happened with the Muffin Man.
Did some kid go nuts?
This kid lost his mind. He was traumatized.
Crying,
I don't know.
Screaming.
I don't know. We're singing these stupid fucking kids songs, with the Muffin Man being one of them, right? I have the CD, I'm playing it, we're singing along. The Muffin Man. And this kid lost his fucking mind. Hey, Miss screaming, he's just crying.
The poor
and I'm
kid.
like, I think he's like hurt. I'm like, I stopped.
Poor kid.
What?
He was
and
traumatized.
I was like, my God, what's wrong? The Muffin Man, not the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man has a knife, not the Muffin Man. I'm like, Jesus Christ. The neighbor, people walking their dog, like, what is happening over here? So that there was no more Muffin Man.
No more.
We didn't do the fucking Muffin. I never did the Muffin. I am still traumatized by the Muffin Man, and I still don't know what happened with the Muffin Man.
Maybe it was a movie. Maybe it was somebody on their street. I don't know.
But it's just, and it's amazing. And I learned a lot, from teaching, and it's amazing what is different from district to district. And I'm not going to get political here, but they're trying to even that out, because when it comes to testing, it's not fair, because if it's made for like one specific population of people, and then kids in other areas don't know what the fuck is happening. I mean, I didn't know what a piper was. They didn't know what a hoe was. I mean, it's like, we learned a lot from each other, especially those first few years. I'm sure there was another one. The pumpkin. Oh, this was a cute story though.
Oh, this is funny.
Science lesson in the fall. I take in a pumpkin, and I get.
She has all the best stories.
Right, get the nice big pumpkin. I go into school with a fucking knife.
Yeah, a big butcher knife.
I did not take the butcher knife. I took a fucking steak knife, and it took me like 3 hours to carve.
I would have taken the butcher knife.
No, Christ. I wasn't supposed to have it to begin with. So the kids were all sitting in a circle. They're all spread out, in case like the knife breaks or some shit. Newspaper down. I got the pumpkin, and we're going around the circle so everyone can guess. This is kindergarten. What's in the pumpkin? When I open this fucker up, what is inside?
Well, you didn't say it like that.
Of course not. I never swore, usually. So one little girl, as cute as can be, and I get to her, and she is so excited, because goddamn it, there is a baby doll inside of that pumpkin. And I just looked at her and I howled, and I was like,
"Wait!" She said, "Miss Spicer, there's a baby."
She
doll?
said, "Miss Spicer, I bet there's a baby doll in there." And I couldn't even help but laugh, and I just loved her, and I said, "That's a really good guess." And then of course, like the little girl next to her was no nonsense.
It's like Willy Wonka.
And she's like. There's not a baby doll in there. Like, it's fantastic. I didn't have to correct her, because the girl next to her did. So I said, I appreciate your guess. I said, but there's not.
She wanted a baby doll.
It was not a baby doll. She was so. I think it was like Christmas. So you're gonna open it up, and there's a prize inside, and it was very disappointing. I think, to find seeds and pulp, and then I brought the seeds home and cooked them. We took them back.
Did you gut it, or did they gut it?
We passed it around. They all got to gut it.
I don't have a sensory issue,
It
but I don't
my
like
hand.
that.
No, it chaps the pulp chaps my hand. sensitive
The eczema.
skin. Eczema. That's what. Yeah, eczema.
Okay, well, we're running up their time now,
What
so
time
let's
is it?
do. We need to
39
do the
minutes.
drawing.
Christ.
The drawing,
Okay.
and we'll see you
Okay.
next week.
Okay. So all the names are in here, right? We appreciate.
This
gonna
is
pull
fun.
One. I'm
This is
gonna pull one.
fun.
You can pull one. I'm not gonna look.
Oh, we're doing 2. We have 2.
I have. Oh wait, let me get it out. Let me get it out. This is the last time. For those of you that find it offensive, I apologize. It's the last time we're gonna have it
It's
out.
not offensive. It's
because
fine.
we're gonna send these fuckers out here in the next couple of days.
It's Santa sack.
It is Santa. Oh, I gotta get my candle out. It says
Santa sack.
So our yam sack ornament, it blends in with my skin.
Look,
There you
it's
go.
hard.
There it is. You gotta stop banging it around. It's not right. Okay, so I'm gonna put it aside now. So to win.
That's hers. You won't get that
To
one.
win-
It's not
that's
chipped.
not
but you
mine.
won't get. Yeah, it is. They won't get one that's chipped. That's not chipped.
It's not chipped.
No, I meant because I was banging it,
Christ. I'm gonna pull a name, and then she's gonna pull a name, and then we're gonna announce who the winners are,
and then we'll mail it out.
and then we're gonna mail them out. If I don't have your address or we don't have your address, okay.
I feel like I'm always looking to the
Hang on.
side of you, and I don't like it.
Kelly T.
Kelly
getting the yam
Trigger.
sack. Kelly T.
Kelly,
getting the yam sack.
Here, you gotta.
You pull the next one. You want me to hold it?
No, I'll hold
Okay,
it. I'm
just
not
pull-
trying not to look. Okay, who did I get? Patty. Is that Patty Clark?
Tonight is Patty Clark. Patty Clark.
Patty Clark.
You're
It's
the
coming
other
to you.
proud owner
Coming to you.
of a yam sack ornament.
Yam sack.
I have both addresses. So thank you for participating with the yam
Yes,
sack ornament.
thank you.
That was tons of fun. And thank you also because I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do with these 2 extra ornaments because, I mean...
I don't want one.
no, I mean, it's... And everybody that either texted or PM'd or put your name on one
Thank
of the
you.
grams, whatever the socials. Thank you. And all the names were in the tin. I
Yeah.
went through all my messages to make sure
Yeah.
I had everybody. So thank you very much.
We'll do more drawings
and-
as the time goes on. And we
We'll
get better
give
with all
something
this.
else out.
Yeah, we give
We'll
things.
do something else out. I'm sure
We're
we have all
giving.
kinds of
We're
great-
giving.
We're giving. So
Even though I said last week I didn't like to give money, I give money. I give things. I donate. I don't want you calling me about it, though. Don't call
no
me.
one's calling you. No one's calling you. Okay.
I just wanted to clarify.
It's 40, we're going to wrap this up at 41 minutes. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
We are Small Talk Queens. If you have not subscribed, if you subscribe, you get it's free and you get notifications. If you
Yeah, go
subscribe,
to
you know.
Yahoo. No.
No, YouTube.
YouTube.
It's Small Talk Queens on YouTube. So anyway, thank you for joining in. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.